Hello everybody, welcome back. Today is day 5. I've got a very exciting one today. Also, look at the light. We're using natural light these days, so don't mind the little sunshine coming through, but it will change as I get into the video, so it won't affect what my face looks like with the sunscreen. But anyway, today we are reviewing the Lancer, what is this called? Mineral Sun Shield Universal Tint SPF 30. And as always, I have my 1/4 teaspoon. I will be applying it to a bare face. All I do in the morning is I wash my face for these reviews. Just wash my face with water, nothing else. I don't put any skincare on, and that is just to have a control. That way I don't have any different moisturizer, different serum affecting the way the sunscreen is. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna apply a 1/4 teaspoon for my neck and my face. I will show you a swatch on my arm of what it looks like when I first apply it, and then 10 minutes later to see how it oxidizes, because for tinted mineral sunscreens that is important. And then I'll come back with some makeup on so you can see what it looks like after, just like we've been doing every other day. So if you are enjoying this series so far, give it a big old like, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll get into the video. So this is the Lancer Mineral Sun Shield Universal Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 30 by Lancer Skincare. It retails for a whopping $60, which is pretty expensive, but if you know Lancer, this is kind of a, I don't know, celebrity-ish brand. It's not cheap in any sense of the word for all of their products. It is 2 fluid ounces though, so that's 60 milliliters, so you are getting a little bit more than your standard amount, which is 1.7 fluid ounces, but I would still say $60 is a lot, especially for SPF 30. So they say that this is a universally tinted physical sunscreen that defends against UVA and UVB rays and blue light with 0 white cast. Sheer universal tint ensures optimal blendability across all skin tones. And zinc oxide protects skin from premature aging, while pink rock rose and ginger root extract soothe skin and reduce inflammation. As far as their ingredients, there is 16% zinc oxide in this. It does have butyl-octyl salicylate, which, I like to call out all the time because it's not necessarily listed in the active ingredients, but for all intents and purposes, it is a chemical filter, so that would make this one a hybrid. It kind of depends on if your skin reacts to it or if you just have like a concern about it, but I do like to let people know. As far as ingredients, this one, like I said, it has zinc oxide. It also has rice and soy complex, which is supposed to help from blue light damage. Not sure I believe in blue light damage 100%, but it is there. Pink rock rose, which is supposed to calm stressed skin. Ginger root extract, also a soother. And there is no scent to it, and I will show you the tint in a second. But those are kind of the specs for this sunscreen. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit more. I've got my normal concealer and a little bit of blush, mascara, little powder around the eyes. And that's kind of it for my makeup today. It sits really nicely under makeup, and I feel like today my skincare and makeup, well, my sunscreen and makeup are looking very, very nice and like just natural looking. I don't have any texture really on my skin, so that's not a concern for me. And I didn't experience any pilling with this sunscreen. Sometimes with tinted mineral sunscreens, you do get pilling. I haven't experienced it with a lot so far, but of course there's always room for that in this series. As far as the white cast, when I did apply it at first, I think on my skin tone, which is light medium, but as we get closer to summer, I definitely get a little bit tanner. I think if I wore it just without any makeup on over top, it would be okay. I might look a little bit like paler, but if I wore this in the wintertime, it would look fine on me. But as you get into the deeper medium skin tones, I think you're gonna have a little bit more of a cast. I wouldn't say this is going to be 100% no white cast. It really is going to depend on your skin tone though. And as far as the tint, I do want to show you what I have so far. So I like to show you the swatch that I put on my hand or my arm, and then I'm going to show you in a second what it looks like after about 10-15 minutes and then freshly applied. Okay, so this is our swatch. I applied this about 10-15 minutes ago. I apply it before I put my makeup on, and then I want to show you what it looks like when you first apply it. So you can see the difference in oxidation. So this is at 10-15 minutes, and then this is just applied. Pretty much like all of the mineral sunscreens that I'll be testing, I do think that it oxidizes. I wouldn't say it's the most terrible oxidation, but it's gonna pull a little bit warmer and maybe a little neutral warm, but not the worst that I've seen for sure. As far as the finish, it has a more natural finish. I wouldn't go so far as to say like a super radiant finish, but when I did first apply it to my face with no skincare underneath, I did find it to be a little bit more dewy than some of the others I've been trying. I think for more dry skin, it's gonna sink in pretty quickly. You're gonna notice that like it feels hydrated, but it's not gonna be a long lasting hydration. Or if you have more oily skin, it may be a little bit much, but I don't think it's one of the worst in terms of like just so much dewy like moisture on your face. And it does kind of set down as the day goes on. It's not too matte or too dewy. I would say it's really like a natural finish. And of course, depending on what skincare you put on underneath, because I'm just applying it to a bare face, but most people should be or would be putting skincare underneath. You can probably get it to be quite a bit dewier, or you can put maybe some primer on, get it to be a little bit more matte. But for me right now, it just looks natural. And then any of the glow is from my blush. So that's what it looks like. So overall, I think this is a really good option for people with a lighter skin tone, maybe light medium, especially because it does oxidize throughout the day. Not terrible oxidation, definitely not some of the worst that I've seen, but I do like to call it out and show you what it looks like. That said, I think for $60, it's quite pricey, but this is like a luxury brand. So you're not paying for just the ingredients and just the formula. You're paying for the name, you're paying for the illusion or whatever that comes along with it, but you are getting 2 ounces. So it's not terrible, but again, that's $30 per ounce, which is pretty pricey. So for me, I think this is a very solid choice, but I think it comes down to your skin tone, making sure that this would work for your skin tone, maybe not being too fair or too deep. And I think maybe in the light, medium shades is probably where it's gonna be the best. And then are you willing to spend $60 on a sunscreen? That's kind of what it breaks down to. Also, this is SPF 30. So a lot of the other ones that I'm testing out in this series are a little bit higher. So some people just really don't like to go to an SPF 30. They want something higher. This one's not water resistant. So, you know, it has its drawbacks, but it also has its pluses. So basically I can see points to either side. I think it just comes down to your preferences. So I will leave it there today. I just want to say I do really like what my makeup looks like today. So it gets a big plus for me for that. But, you know, it's also kind of the makeup doing it. So I will see you guys tomorrow for day 6. If you are enjoying it, give it a big old thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.